All right, now we're moving on to the calculator active section, which is great. So we're going to be using the calculator either just to add and subtract and multiply and that kind of thing, or you might be using Math 8 to find the derivative instead of doing it by hand to help us with the problem. So for number 20, an object is dropped from the top of a 100-meter tower. Its height above the ground after t seconds is given by this function. So h stands for height, and t stands for time. They want the average rate of change of the object's height. So they want the change in the height over time, so meters per second. And they want the average from the beginning to end, which means we're really just finding the slope of the line that connects the 2 points. So this is not the derivative. This is going to be f of b minus f of a over b minus a, or f of 3 minus f of 1 over 3 minus 1. Oh, and excuse me, I should make that an h. Alright, so grab your calculator and you can plug in 3 and you can plug in 1, and I believe I got 55.9 minus 95.1, and 3 minus 1 is 2. Alright, so if you subtract and divide, I got negative 19.6, and they've asked us to include units. Alright, so that top line, h of 3 and h of 1, that was height, that was meters. And the bottom was time. And time was measured in seconds. So meters per second. Alright, let's go ahead and do part B while we're here. Find the instantaneous rate of change. Alright, that is going to be the derivative. Alright, instantaneous rate of change, slope, all that means derivative. So you can take the derivative of h very easily. It really wouldn't take any time at all if you wanted to just use your power rule. But since it's calculator active, I'm going to go ahead and use Math 8 to find the derivative at 2.5 seconds. Now, if they just said find the equation for the rate of change, I would have to do that by hand. Your calculator's not going to find the equation, but it will evaluate it for you at 2.5 seconds. Alright, so I've got this calculator app, and if you're interested in it, let me know. It was $5, but it really does everything you need for it to do, and it looks just like the way your calculator looks. So, Math 8. N derivative. Now the older ones will actually say n derivative parentheses, and you have to type in the equation, comma x, comma, and then the value you're plugging in. This one, it actually is set up to look like a derivative. So our variable is x, which will pretty much, I don't think we'll ever change that. We'll just use dvx the whole time. If you really want to use another letter, you can, but there's no point in that. Alright, our function, which was 100 minus 4.9 t squared, or in this case x squared, and we want to know at time 2.5. Alright, that gives me negative 24.5. So negative 24.5 is going to be my h prime of 2.5. And again, meters per second.